Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. Today, we're going to be talking all about the practice of making peace with uncertainty. This topic is something that's been alive in my life lately, and a topic that comes up a lot in my work with individuals and with couples around navigating these moments in life when there is uncertainty about a trend, let's say a career transition with an individual, or if you're waiting on a decision for something and you don't have an answer yet, or about what to do. Maybe you're in conflict with a friend and you haven't heard from that friend in some time and you're in this space of uncertainty and making peace with that. Or maybe it's a big decision in your life and you don't have the answer yet and you feel angst about it. And how do we make peace with the uncertainty? And uncertainty in general is something that as human beings we have a hard time sitting with. And it also is something we're not conditioned to sit with the discomfort that comes with uncertainty and embrace it. Because in our world, we tend to think we have a lot of control over our lives, over other people, over situations and how they unfold. And so naturally, with that mentality that we have in, at least in our Western culture, when I know about given my upbringing, it's all this idea of I'm in control of my life, fully in control of my life. And so with that mindset, it makes it hard naturally when there's uncertainty because it's something that we can't control. And that gives us angst, and that's a cause for a lot of anxiety. And it's this dance in life, I feel, between I am an active co-creator of life. I have control over life, but there is also a universal energy and flow that impacts life, that leads us that through that dance of life. And take what lands for you, and leave at the door what doesn't. Is just my perspective and my approach. And so when it comes to uncertainty and the angst that we feel around it, it's feeling into what is the discomfort I'm feeling and what is the deeper fear there. So, for example, I'll share that I'm really excited. This is actually the first time I'm announcing it publicly. I'm in a major transition period, exciting period. I'll say expansion over transition. And I am going to be going to grad school in the fall. I'm so excited. And I'm getting my master's in social work, which is going to be really profound for the current work that I do with couples and individuals, and gaining more frameworks around the work that I do. And also, I'm doing this path where I can serve in a impact policy. So impact in larger ways, community programs and educational curricula, in addition to the couples work I do at the individual level. And I'm also doing a dual major in women's and gender studies. And I'm so excited. This is a huge passion of mine, given my work and masculine, feminine energetics and dynamics. And so having that additional expertise uh, and education around history of gender and uh, all that good stuff. I'm really excited for the depth that it's going to bring to my work. And um, newer angles and understanding how different points in history have impacted how we relate. So I'm really jazzed. And I'm also in this period of uncertainty in which naturally grad school is a large financial commitment. And so, uh, you know, I am still waiting from the school for what my financial aid package will be, what the school's giving me, what they're not, where I may, what level of loans I may need, how I'm going to pay for the schooling the entire 3 years. And so I'm in this space of uncertainty. And then I got to feel into, okay, I don't have the answers. The Department of Education's delayed. School doesn't have the answers. School starts in the fall, in August. It's tight. What is my fear? Okay, what's the fear? Okay, the fear is, oh, I'm going to have school. I'm not going to hear from school till last minute. And then I'm going to have to navigate the loan process. And oh, I have no idea how to navigate the loan process. So that's a source of anxiety for me. And oh, wow, I have a lot of fear that, ooh, I'm taking out gigantic loans. So that's going to be scary for school. And then am I going to be able to pay them back? And how am I going to be able to pay them back? And in what time frame, right? All of these anxieties. And I have to center myself and get grounded and say, okay, and keep feeling in. This feels aligned. This is the path. It's okay. I don't have the answer from the school. And what can I do? I pray that the answer comes. And in the meantime, I pray that I make sound decisions to set me up for success while I wait to hear from the school. And I take aligned action and I apply for grants and I apply for scholarships and I ask around and what people have done. And I don't want to just make this about me here. I'm going to bridge it. In this process where we're dealing with uncertainty around big decisions and life choices, all we really have is faith versus faith. It's I trust that I am making a sound decision and I'm doing the best I can as a human being in this moment to make a choice. Because choices in themselves are scary. Because choices in themselves bring up a fear of, am I going to make the wrong choice? And this is why I say it requires faith. Because when it comes to choice, it's knowing you may make the quote unquote wrong choice, but there is no wrong choice because if we truly have faith, then we know that if we make a choice that may not have been the wisest in that moment, that something else is going to come around and shift for us. When we operate in that frequency of trust and in that frequency of I'm continuing to go one foot in front of the other, do the best I can. I'm not going to beat myself up when I make a choice that in hindsight wasn't the smartest because I had already done it. And therefore, I trust that something else is going to come my way instead, something better, something different that I can then act on in that moment. And most of our fear around the uncertainty is because at a deeper level, we don't have faith in God, in source, in the universal flow of life because we think only we're in control. And when we think only we're in control, life feels heavy and then we self-deprecate and we blame ourselves for the choices we've made. And when we make choices that aren't so wise, great, they're learning opportunities for the future. And you can always have a second chance. You can always move beyond and grow and evolve. And it's that intention that you place after that and that alignment of who you be and how you show up and your continued desire to pray for clarity, to pray for more alignment, to pray for insights to come in the meantime. That intention is what's going to bring that forth to you when it's time. And sometimes we're tested with the unknown because it forces us to deepen our spirituality. It forces us to deepen our connection with something greater. It forces us to pause and reflect and be in stillness and make decisions and have compassion for self and not beat self up for the decisions we make, because guilt, shame, beating yourself up, it doesn't help you make more sound decisions moving forward. It just makes you feel like shit. And so fear of making the wrong choice, or fear of I don't have enough time, I need to get it right because I don't have enough time, that comes from lack of faith in your path, lack of trust in God or source or higher power, that whatever that vision that you have that was promised to you, that you feel in your heart, will come true. And when you do truly believe in that, then you don't have to have fear about time and lack and things not unfolding and making the wrong choice. Because if you're operating in every moment, doing the absolute best you can, that is enough. You are enough. We all have challenging decisions to make in life, decisions that impact our finances, decisions that impact our careers, our relationships, our family dynamics, where we're going to live. And it can feel paralyzing, or you can go and it can feel tempting to want to ask anyone and everyone for their opinion. And sometimes all we can do in a moment is wait, because that's part of the medicine that God is giving us, is cultivating that capacity for patience, cultivating that capacity to be in the unknown, because that's going to make you a better leader when you can deal with uncertainty in life, in the workplace, in your relationship. It's going to make you a better partner and a better human being without needing to know all the time, releasing that grip of control, being more even keel. Even in the minute example of like a text, someone not responding right away, being able to sit in conflict and hold that tension, let things air out. It's our ability to be in uncertainty, to hold it with trust and faith that all will shift as it always does. I want to close with a little meditation. I'm going to invite you to gently start to close the eyes. Let's take some deep breaths in the nose and the mouth. I'm going to count the first one. We're going to breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to breathe out the mouth for 6, like we're breathing out of a little straw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. This time I want you to let a sound on the way out, any tension you're carrying in the jaw and the body. Let's do that again. We're going to breathe in. We're going to let a sound on the way out. I want you to play with the voice. Go high or low. Ah. I want you to start to hear your voice on the way out and just feel it, play with it. Let's go again. Breathe in and breathe out. The more that we do that with the voice too, as we're breathing, the more we get to hear how our voice sounds, which pitches and tones we like, which tones we don't, and we get to actually enjoy our voice over time. And I want you to keep the eyes closed, keep breathing. And I want you to think about a big decision that you have to make in your life right now. Maybe it's even a small one, something you've been stressed about, toiling over, unsure which way to go, what to say, what to do. And I want you to notice, think about this decision. And I want you to notice your body and where you start to feel tension in the body over this decision. So maybe your belly starts to tighten when you think about it. Maybe your jaw's still tight and clenched from earlier today, thinking about it. I want you just to notice where you have tension in the body when you think about this decision you have to make. Where you're not breathing fully, where maybe you're not oxygenating, expanding your body, you're feeling contracted. Keep thinking about this decision, and I want you to zoom out and I want you to look at yourself as if you're looking at yourself, going about your day, stressing about this decision. And look at your behaviors, your patterns, how you're holding yourself, how you're talking to people about it, how you're talking to yourself about it, the stress habits that you're doing. Maybe you're overeating, constantly on Instagram, asking people their opinions. What are your patterns? Maybe you're numb from indecision and lethargic. I want you to just observe yourself over the course of a day or a couple days as you're toiling with this decision. And I want you to think about, what is the fear that is driving the need for the decision to come immediately? What's the fear? Maybe it's around not having enough time. Maybe it's around wanting to get it right and afraid your life is going to be ruined or a disaster if you make the wrong choice. So maybe it's not trusting that you're going to be taken care of or okay. Maybe you're afraid you're going to mess something up for good. You can't repair from it. Maybe it is a time sensitive decision, but I want you to look at your way of being, if it's that, and how you're maximizing the time. And is it a manufactured timeline or is it a real timeline? A deadline. And look at that fear that's beneath it. And I want you to think about What would be your ideal state to operate from? How do you imagine yourself in your most grounded, easeful, relaxed energy going about your day, working through this decision? What do you imagine yourself to do to get there? How do you imagine your energy to be? How do you imagine yourself to talk to yourself about it? How do you imagine yourself to tell others about it and what you're navigating? Keep breathing, slow breaths. Life is filled with tough decisions, and all we can do is the best that we can absolutely do. And it's our duty to stay with a grounded, relaxed nervous system. We deserve to be at ease as we navigate life's challenges because that's part of being a human being on this planet, is making decisions and choices. That's the beauty of being a sovereign being. And sometimes it can feel like a burden, and looking at that and acknowledging that, sometimes it feels like a burden to have choice. But it's a gift to have a choice. That in itself is abundance. That in itself gives you an opportunity to use your agency to choose what feels most aligned in that moment and to watch the magic unfold and to trust that either way, whatever's meant to you is coming for you. In one way or another, our choices may cause slight delays. They may take us down interesting, different paths, but whatever is meant to be will be and is there for a reason, is planted in your heart for a reason. And nothing can change that. And your ease, your groundedness, your connection to yourself and your spirituality is what's going to help you continue to get there, to continue to weather these waves of life that we experience daily basis. And how can you be even more present with yourself, with your emotions? How can you parent yourself even more? Give yourself the validation that you need in that moment to ease the fear around this decision, or the love, or the care, or instilling trust and faith in yourself. How can you be that true protector and provider for yourself in this moment with this decision? And I want you to imagine roots growing deep down from your feet into the earth. Whether you're sitting, you're laying down, wherever you are, deep into the earth, connecting you to the earth's molten core. Because we come from the earth, we are one. And I want you to pray on this decision that you have. And I want you to ask God's source, universal energy, to grant you clarity, to hold you with whatever choice you make when it's time to make it. and that you will remember that you do the best you can and that that is enough. And I want you to thank the universe for hearing your prayers, your intention that you placed today here, holding you with honor for whatever unfolded, for how you showed up, for any insights you had, for any thoughts that came. And I want you to imagine a gold ring of light surrounding you with love and gratitude for self, gratitude for the opportunity to get to be on this planet and make decisions and make choices and have free will in tandem with life and life's flow. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And know that you can come back to this meditation to yourself anytime you start to feel anxiety, to slow down the nervous system, to check in with the unconscious fears, to notice the body and to recenter because you deserve that and you owe it to yourself to make decisions from that place. Thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in to this week's episode of Divine Union. It's been such a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.